Welcome to this short presentation and commentary about the changes to the Year 11 exams. There's some aspects just to go through first of all. After that, we will be having a brief discussion of the potential revision techniques that we can use. Now, the summary really starts with the speaking elements of the 4 skills. The speaking now is, as we can see on here, is no longer externally assessed. This is an internal assessment across a 3-point scale: pass, merit and distinction. So that means then that the three remaining skills of writing, reading and listening will be a third each for the GCSE. The amendments that have been made to the writing part are that there will be more optionality in the writing components. So for 2021, the writing papers will have an additional optional question for the overlap question at both tiers. That's question 4 and question 1. By the way, there are many resources, and we'll come to those in a bit on the next slide, that are available for yourselves and for your children to go and look at in terms of practice tasks that mirror the style of these assessments. The additional question was agreed, so as it says here, so that students can answer on their preferred theme. So students are assessed on 3 themes. As we can see on the higher tier, there is an additional optional question for question 2, as well as the question 1, which is the overlap with foundation. The timings, therefore, have been increased for the amount of time that the students have got to actually go and answer, as per the information here. Reading and listening, the exam board have agreed to only test the reading and listening vocabulary within the vocabulary lists, the prescribed set lists of vocabulary. However, there is a caveat with that, and that there may be some vocabulary from Key Stage 3 that comes up as well, but it's not absolutely mentioned on the specification for the GCSE vocabulary list. There may also be some glossing where necessary to support the students learning with that. That brings us on to revision strategies. Really, the revision strategies are underpinned by the knowledge of where the key resources are on the system. So the key resources are on library, languages, so the library file, so students would log on to the system, the portal, and go to the library file, and then languages, and then Year 10-11 resource packs. Spanish, this is an example, of course, of Spanish, but they exist for French and German as well. So Spanish GCSE resource pack, and this is the folder that you would see, and you could go into this folder and use some of this material. And in this folder, we have 2 particularly important areas to look at, and this is key vocabulary and chunks. So I know this is quite difficult to see, so I'll just enlarge it. These are some examples of chunks. And it may appear a bit blurry. I think that's a bit better now. But if we were to look at these chunks have been highlighted as key bits of language that are quite generic and that transcend topics. So if we go up a bit here, things like siempre ha sido tan entretenido. So it has always been so entertaining. That bit of content there needs to be so well learned that students will not forget it, and it transcends topics because it can be used to give an opinion across no matter what the topic is. All of these others exist, and also you will find this in the equivalent in the German pack, as well as well, the French pack is a work in progress, but we're building that now. That brings us on to vocabulary. This key vocabulary will really help with progress on the reading and listening papers. And their progress on the reading and listening papers is underpinned by knowledge of previously encountered words that have come up on past papers. Now, this is an example of content that has previously come up on those papers, and therefore it has made it onto what's called the Key Vocab PowerPoint. And so therefore it makes sense to go through and to drill it and to speak it out, and then to test yourself using the other side of actually this PowerPoint through, if we go back a second, through the PowerPoint that is in the chunk section. The PowerPoint that is in the Key Vocab section, I should say. The chunks also have one side of the PowerPoint with the, one section of the PowerPoint with the Spanish covered up, ready to be tested. And that really is just a very sort of concise, I hope, way of talking about how to revise and also some of the key changes at Year 11. Please do contact me should you want any further information on my email address, which is huntonj@heart-england.co.uk. Thank you.